Hello everyone and welcome to another episode of Party Wipe Gaming. Today we're going to be playing a personal favorite of mine. This is King of Dragon Pass. I had actually found this game on mobile before I knew it existed in the PC version, so I know it's a bit different, but we're going to go ahead and play it together today. There once was a time when gods and people walked the earth together. Your clan traces its ancestry back to those times. Your clan history begins when you join the forces of the storm god Orlanth. Back then, Orlanth was simply one of many upstart rebellious gods bent on conquest of the world. Orlanth's unique contributions at that time were personal honor and a close kinship to other deities who seemed to be on the winning side. We don't need that. After many tribulations, adventures, and discoveries, Orlanth proved himself worthy of marrying Ernalda, the Earth Mother. The two formed the marriage ring and created a great harmony in the world through this sacred bond. Your clan took part in the wedding ceremony. Most clans either whooped with Orlanth or learned the secrets from Ernalda. A few clans stood with Elmal, god of horses and the sun, as an honor guard. How did you prepare for the great feast? Marriage. Oh, here we go. We have our first choice. So we can either your men and women donned gleaming armor and stood guard with Elmal to protect the celebrants from Orlanth's many enemies. Your kingdom whooped with Orlanth and drank the 8 known drinks so that your heads would hurt during the ceremony. Or your women withdrew with Ernalda and learned the list of names which they promised not to repeat to the men. So of our choices, we can either stand guard with Elmal, he's pretty good guy, or we can get drunk with the main deity, Orlanth, or we can have our women learn some secrets. These are all the same in the mobile version, so generally I chose to learn the secrets because having magic on your side was always good. Each early event starts your clan with knowledge of a different divine blessing. Again, there is no best answer. Which is true. You can play this any different way, any number of combinations, and the way this game works, they can all end up terribly. Orlanth's struggle to remake the world was just the beginning, and many other gods joined him in it. Orlanth fought with Yelm, the Bright Emperor, and undertook many wars of conquest. Other, more peaceful deeds were just as important. Your earliest famous event was the healing of Orlanth, when the merciful goddess Shalana Arroy joined Orlanth's tribe. The 100-day hunt, when Orlanth and his son Odyala tracked the Sky Bear. Jested settlement, where Orlanth and Isares, the talking god, outwitted foreign deities in a difficult negotiation. The procession of animals, where Uralda, the cow mother, led the sacred herds into Orlanth's stead. When Barntar, son of Orlanth and Ernalda, learned of harnessing oxen to the plow. When Lancor Mai, the knowing god, learned how to use the marking bone, which could mark signs of power upon anything. When Pela, the pottery goddess, made the first pot to store grain in. When Roytina, lady of the dance, first did the clan-making dance. Now this is interesting because Pela and Roytina were not in the options listed for the mobile game, so I don't actually know what they bring. Just a quick bit of water there. I usually like having Aralda on my side because cows are everything in this game. So we'll go ahead and do that. Orlanth succeeded in remaking the world, thus began the golden era called the Storm Age. Orlanth's son, Vingtok, was a famous warlord during this time. Most people in the area were his followers. He introduced new principles, such as the rule of hospitality, which said that after you had invited people into your steads, you could not attack or harm them. Thus was much treachery banished from Orlanthe society. Many who would not have survived agreed to his new ways in order to gain his protection. He was a great organizer, and helped the many scattered people form into new clans and tribes. Your clan was one of those, aided by King Vingat. After you proved yourself robust and capable of survival, Vingat placed a remnant people under your protection. They were the Nalda Bin, or stick farmers. You had a choice whether to make them into thralls, slaves, or adopt them as members of your clan. How did you add these strangers? Now, if you pick one or the other, it determines how the rest of your tribe acts during the rest of the game. If you pick them as thralls, you have a precedent of collecting slaves for the game and the entire game. Or if you take them as adopted family, you're expected to always do this. You can't take slaves if you choose to have them as adopted family. And since, well, slavery is bad, there's no way around that. Even if they are useful in this game, we're going to choose to have them as adopted family. The foes of Vingatlings were many, and your people fought hard against them. Which one of them in particular did you fight? Bostakang, the Troll Lord. Ukargra, King of the Basmoli Beastmen. Chinkismor, the Elf Warlord. Tara the Green, champion of the Flatlands called Prax, and Vesvana, warlord of the Ice Tribe. These are all terrible. Not terrible as in bad, but they're all going to kick your butt at some point or the other. But which one do you hate more? I generally choose the Troll Lord because killing the trolls is something that happens a lot in this game, and it gives you good points if you're killing them constantly. Likewise, later on, you'll be messing with these people quite a bit. The Beastmen you generally don't want to piss off because they'll just overrun you. The Elves do back and forth shenanigans, and the Ice Tribe is generally a bad time. So we're going to go with Bostakang, the Troll Lord. The Storm Age ended in disaster, when the gods and creatures of chaos came and destroyed nearly everything. Orlanthe and his allies fought hard, but chaos almost always won. Many gods died, and new ones rose to prominence. Many people died too. Catastrophes shook the world, the sunfall, the rain of blood, and the terrible laughing tsunami. The darkness got so bad that even Orlanthe and his champions had to abandon humans to their own destiny. Only a few deities, either small ones or weak ones, remained. The world stagnated and died. Your clan was diminished to a ragged handful of hardy survivors. Hjort the King was the leader who emerged amid the turmoil of darkness. The efforts of Hjort and his companions helped set the world in order again. He created the laws that we follow to this day. One of the great distinctions which Hjort discerned among his clans was that some of them tended towards either peace or war, while others maintained a balance between the two principles. Which kind was your clan? So do we like fighting? Do we like growing and trading? Or do we like a little bit of both? I always find that a little bit of both works better, because if you war too much, your farmers will get tired of people dying. If you don't war enough, your warriors will get bored and lazy. So, we'll know when it's time to war and when it's time to grow. Finally, the sun rose again, while the rest of society worked to protect themselves, find food, or otherwise just survive. The first priests worked to re-establish links with the ancient deities. With a new harmony between the people and deities, the world was slowly improved. Once the awakening process had begun, it got easier and went quicker as the gods woke each other too. Who was the first deity which your clan helped to awaken? None. Our ancestors are good enough. None. We retained worship of our living deity, Amal, the loyal Thane, Urax, the storm bull, Odala, the hunter, Arnalda, the mother goddess, Orlanth, the father, Isares, the talking god, Lancor Mai, the knowing god, Shalana Arroy, the healing goddess, or Uralda, the cow mother. So this determines which extra god we have on our side when we start off. Urax, the storm bull, protects us from chaos. The hunter helps us find things as we're exploring our boundaries. He gives us laws. She keeps people healed, better cows, trade. Always having somebody to heal you is a good choice. Things have been different since the dawn, 1300 years ago. Orlanth and the other gods retreated from the world, leaving it to mortals. You can still contact them through ritual and sacrifice, or enter their realm by reenacting stories about their deeds, which contain great magic. But they no longer walk beside you. When you settled in a new place, you marked this great change in the world by naming your land not after a god, but after a mortal like yourselves. You called it Hjortland, in honor of the king who taught you how to survive during darkness. About 600 years ago, a dragon approached you, in either its own form or that of a human with a dragon's soul inside. The dragons had always been hostile, or at the very best, utterly uncaring. Orlanth was always the dragon slayer. You had to choose whether to believe it, cooperate, and learn to do what dragons know, or whether to maintain neutrality. What was your attitude towards the dragons? Just like everything else in this game, the choice you make here will turn up again later in the game. And so, if you're hostile to the dragons, you need to always be hostile to the dragons. If you were positive to them, you always need to have them on your side. If you're neutral, you just kinda didn't care. And in this case, the dragons are pretty interesting, so we're gonna choose positive. We join within their dragon knowledge. Most of the people who said yes to the dragons moved to Dragon Pass, a land to the north of your home. You stayed in Hjortland, and it is a good thing, too. For a little over 200 years ago, the dragons rose up and ate everyone who lived in Dragon Pass. They ate the Orlanthi along with all the other foolish human dragon friends. For a long time, no humans went to Dragon Pass. They were sure that the dragons would eat them, too. Yeah, I know that sounds bad, but trust me, it'll work out fine later. Recent events made you think twice about the abandoned land of Dragon Pass. A generation ago, an usurper who called himself the Pharaoh. Pharaoh. We'll just say Pharaoh. Came to Hjortland and started a civil war. Your clan broke into disputes and sometimes violent about whether to support the Pharaoh. In the end, your group of dissidents decided it would be better to risk the dangers of Dragon Pass than to stay and kill your own kin. The greatest sin an Orlanthi could commit. Those unable to live under the Pharaoh would move northward to Dragon Pass. People of similar beliefs from other clans had already made the same decision and settled there, so you made a new clan, just as your ancestors had done in the days of King Hjort. Well, that's a convenient pop-up right there. Your new clan made the dangerous trek to Dragon Pass and selected a place to live. Like the other Orlanthi refugees in Hjortland, you settled in Quiviniland, a mountainous area in the southeast of Dragon Pass. You would call these lands your home, or Tula. Tradition required that you make a formal land claim. How much land did you claim? As much as we needed, no more. More than we need to grow into. Lots more than we would probably need. Huge tracts of land. Far more than we needed. It's always better to grow in and then conquer what we need later. And so this is the culmination of our work. And we're going to go ahead and rename our clan. And we're going to call ourselves the Flame Boars, because it's a tough and fierce sounding name. Everyone fears cooked bacon. And so victory conditions. Forge a tribe and remain king for 10 years. Gonna keep the difficulty normal because anything higher really does just throw unfair advantages at you. And we're always going to go for the long campaign, even if we may never see it. Here's a quick review of our clan history. To prepare for marriage of Ernalda and Orlamp, your women withdrew with Ernalda. Your clan's earliest famous event was the procession of the animals. You added strangers to your clan as adopted family. Your ancient enemy is the Troll Lord. We are a balanced clan. You first awakened Shalana Arroy, the healing goddess. Your attitude toward dragons is positive, and you have more land than you need to grow into. So look, there's our little Tula. Doesn't it look nice? And we're going to get started. Sacred time is 2 weeks of magical ceremonies which precede each new year. Hence you allocate clan magic resources for the coming year. Members of your clan council or ring offer advice. Click another advisor for their advice or the text to hide it. Click the boxes to allocate points to clan magic to crops, herds, war, then click proceed. So in the first 2 weeks of the clan being started, we had an overview of how the year went beforehand, which won't show up, a forecast of what they expect, and then we have our clan magic that we set out. And generally it's good to have good crops, at least a point there, keeping people from getting sick, that, trades, and war. We could do mysteries over war because it's generally not good to go picking fights with people right away. But it's also good to have them to defend because some jerk's going to try and attack us first. Mysteries help us unlock more secrets of the gods so that we can do the quests later. So I leave the quest blank because we don't have any. And actually I'll allocate one of the crops to mysteries because we're going to have some downtime where we can do that, and having a little extra oomph will help. Flame Boar's clan, last year, we made the dangerous trek to Dragon Pass and claimed more land than we needed to grow into. We built a clan hall, some steads, and a shrine to Ernalda, but when we left Hjortland, we lost much of our connection with the gods. Other clans we knew back in Hjortland also sent immigrants to Dragon Pass, so we already have friends and enemies in the new land. It is now time for the annual allocation of clan magic, which I already did. And we'll see what these guys have to say. This is Lee Khan. We have not honored our clan deity by performing the hero quest Ernalda Feast Tribe. Well, of course not. We haven't done any clan magic. He is 49. He's good with animals, bargaining, excellent in combat, customs, and leadership. That's why he's the chief. He's very good with magic and worships Orlamp. We have Cool Brast. He is devout 3 to diplomacy. Then we should do rituals for war, trade, and mysteries. Leave something so we can deal with crises that come up. That's not a smart or a bad plan. He is 29. He's excellent at bargaining. Well, that's why he wants to go trade, which isn't a bad idea. Trading and diplomacy helps us set up ties with people so we can get more income coming in. Keep at least 1 point of magic in reserve in case we need it for something unexpected. Bastakos. He's 30. Urmal. He worships Urmal, which is the trickster god. And he's generally good or very good at most things. Our clan magic would be stronger if our chief was a devotee to Ernalda. Yeah, probably, but he's got some good stats going in. It's easier keeping people healthy than trying to cure them later. I think we should allocate 2 health magic and conserve a few points in case we need to call Chalana Arroy during this year. That's also sound. 2 to crop magic. Our herds are also important, so Earmark one for them. Leave some magic. So everybody's saying at least leave one. This isn't a bad idea. Alright, so we won't go to war. Close you down because you're in the way. What do you have to say? Allocate 2 to war magic. Wow, they are all just really interested in their own stuff. And Humakt is a cool one. He's the death god, but he's also like death through honorable conquest and fighting. He also hates undead. We'll take that off mysteries. And we'll put it in crops because, oh boy, if you run out of food, things spiral out of control quickly. So we're ready to proceed. So now, it's the sea season. Sea season is basically spring. This is the time you want to be exploring, having your farmers do things, and you don't want to be going to war during this or the next season. So we're going to go ahead and take a look at what we've got. Farmers, 411. 306 children. We have 10 weapon thanes, which are our nobles, our noble fighters. Our regular nobles are 28. Crafters, hunters, who are also scouts, and of course no thralls. We also start with 3 sick people, which isn't good, but it's not terrible. And so that's a healing thing we know. Close it, close it. There you go. Alright, so first thing we should always do, get more farmers, because having more farmers is never a bad thing. No one is worthy of joining our clan. Well, no one asked you. We'll take from nearby clans, any clans, distant kin. We won't take the vagabonds and wanderers. Forget them. We'll offer them lands and sheep, and we'll see what we get. We began recruiting, knowing that it would take some time for people to decide to join. So this is a preemptive. It'll have people show up next season, and then we get an event. Sora Goodseller, a trader priestess of the talking god Iseres, comes to trade. In addition to the usual exchange of goods, she asks if we have any white horses. Although we have some light gray horses, none can truly be called white. And so, after you make a decision in any part of the game, you'll always have an event pop up, and generally it offers you choices, and one of them will lead to bad things, some will lead to unexpected good. So, we're going to apologize for not having one, and throw her a feast, because maintaining good relations. Sora said that the lack of white horses reflected poorly on neither our generosity nor our hospitality, and the feast was proof of both. And so see, even though we don't have what she needs, we at least end on a good term. And so we're back in sea season. The warriors are satisfied, but the farmers aren't. We should give them some wealth. Just start. We don't need to deal with that just yet. We'll go find some trade. Our way to turn this off, it's going to keep popping up all game. Alright. Our most productive crafters are women that work the pottery wheel. That's good to know. So, we'll set up our caravans, and we'll find some people to trade with. So, right now, Hillhaven and Isolting don't like us. Everybody else is kind of indifferent. That's us up here. So we'll send people to Blackrock and see if we can set up a trade. No, can't establish trade route. There we go. We'll go to Brown Boar. Brown Boar. Hey, we got something in common. So we'll establish a trade route. And we'll send him with 15 footmen so they know we mean business. Okay, we'll round this off by exploring a bit. You always want to explore your own Tula first, that way you know if there's any treasure. because people like treasure. And take your time. Ah! Everyone is gossiping about what happened a few hours ago. The young woman, Aeonislara, was found out in the forest making love with Corol, a notorious poet and trouble-making warrior of the Heron clan. Corol left without a formal farewell. Aeonislara is unmarried, so her actions are not an offense against the gods, but she is betrothed to Jorator, a young thane of the Elkinval clan. The wedding is scheduled for next season. And so we come to a very, very troublesome situation. Somebody was canoodling, but she was supposed to be married. So what do we do? You can see we have some advice here. George's clan is allied to ours. Corol's clan is on the cusp of feud with us. Corol's poetry is fine indeed. More snakes live in the mountains than any old fool thinks. Has done nothing wrong, nor has the otherwise disreputable Corol. It would be absurd to marry her to him. Marriage is like any good trade, a bargain is a bargain. This is juicy gossip, but we need to plant our fields more than anything else right now. So everybody's against trying to force this guy into it, so we're not going to worry about that. So we're going to go ahead and go with this option, let the marriage proceed as if nothing had happened, because, yeah, nothing bad will happen from that. Well, that's new. The game in this version isn't going to let me take those options, it seems. I wonder why. Well, we have to insist that he marries it. Matter is not yet resolved. Before raiding Corol's clan, find out more about them by clicking them in the clan list below. I don't want to raid them. Insist that Corol marry her. You mistake my intentions, Corol said. I meant not to eat the whole cake, but merely to sample the dough. Wow, what a dick. When our people heard this, they were outraged. And see, this comes into the bad choices, where even though we had the obvious choices down here that would have made this easier, it forced us into this. Raid the Heron clan in retaliation for their insult, even though it is sea season. Attacking during sea season pulls away your farmers, which means you won't have enough crops later on. So we're going to go ahead and take the injury to keep the clan going later. Let the matter rest. And see, we just got a negative mood, but we're just going to have to deal with that. One of the warriors composed a poem. It was about how galling it is to have to swallow an insult. Population 165. We were able to attract 80 new Kotars to the clan. They brought with them 85 children. Our caravan is back from the Brown Boars. Although I made a small profit, I could not convince them to set up an ongoing trade relationship. The Brown Boars attribute much of their recent success to hero quests. It's amazing in one season. Our explorer's not back yet, but we'll send another one. Have him look around. You can go with 2 and a small contingent because it's still Artula. Alright. And now it's fire season. Fire season is when you can go raiding. And if that guy had shown up now, we could have picked a fight with his clan and beat them up, but that didn't work out. So instead, we don't have enough warriors to defend ourselves. However, the spirits of our weapon things are high. So it's good to know that they are eager for a fight, but we don't have enough, since we've sent out so many of them. And we're going to go ahead and promote. Get 10 from 5. And we were able to raise 5 of them. Just in time. We're being raided by the horse nomads. There are 153 of them, all mounted. They slipped past our patrols, and we could raise only 5 weapon thanes. Oh, it's a good thing we recruited 5 more. And 81 feared in time. And we saved some clan magic, that'll help. So we'll sacrifice to our 2 war gods. And since we're badly outnumbered, we'll just try to kill as many as possible. Maneuver. They're going to outmaneuver us no matter what they do. So we'll skirmish. The horse nomads attacked while we were still sacrificing. They rushed before us before we'd fired more than a few volleys. As our forces engaged with the horse nomads, Cormal notices that a detachment of riders is trying to sneak completely around and get us from behind. What should he do? Ignore them. Make sure Lee Cad knows about the threat. Try to drive them off. Try to kill them. He's going to be outmaneuvered because he's not on horseback. So we'll go ahead and let Lee Khan know. Unfortunately, Lee Khan didn't react in time, and the riders used magical and natural fires to burn down part of our defenses. Great! The clash ended quickly. Their war magic was stronger than ours, but we quickly rallied and drove the horse nomads from the battlefield, striking them down as they fled. We captured 13 horses. So at the end of the battle, we see our reports here. Horse nomads lost 1 elite fighter. They got 3 wounded. We killed 6 of their regular fighters and 11 wounded. We, on the other hand, lost 7 of our regular fighters and 6 were wounded. So all in all, we came out on top. Our expedition has returned with another opportunity to decide how to handle it. Your clan ring can advise you. The newly explored territory will be shown the next time you look at the map. Your explorers encounter a woman from Hjortland while mapping the northwest. Her name is Nalindia, and she is fleeing from her homeland. I slew an agent of Pharaoh, who sought to tell chosen Orlanthi chieftains how to interpret the laws of our people. Although my act was just and supported by the spirits of our ancestors, the leaders were too afraid of the Pharaoh to stand up for what was right. They outlawed me and sent pursuers to kill me. I think I have outdistanced my pursuers, but would be lying if I said I was sure of that. The explorers were moved by her words and brought her here, suggesting that you should give her asylum. So we can adopt her as a weapon thane of our household, adopt her as a weapon thane just in general, give her hospitality, then send her off. See her on her way with gifts, or turn her away. Every action has a consequence, but usually the ones that turn out better have less of a consequence. So we're going to go ahead and take her into our household on top of it. The people were proud to see a foe of the Pharaoh honored in such a fashion. So this event will come back later, but the people are happy and we gained 1 more soldier. And now it's the Earth season. The Earth season is when you're going to harvest, so it's better not to be fighting during this season as well because you can't bring in enough food. We didn't have enough warriors to defend ourselves, however the spirits of our weapon thanes are high. Yeah, we know that one, thanks. So, we should get some fortifications. Let's see how much stuff we have first. 181 goods. Okay, we can build some fortifications this season. Ditch will slow them down. Ramparts will help. Stake our perimeter. Wooden stockade, stone wall, watchtowers. We'll build some watchtowers first. The party we sent to the northwest found an old, partly charred battle standard. They brought it back because they thought it was magical. They were right. I learned the standard's secrets. If we ignite the standard at the start of battle, it will help us maneuver our troops. It might burn up during the fight, but it will be powerful magic while it lasts. Cool, so we found a magic item that'll help us in battle. And we'll dig a ditch as well. And so here we see what happens from a couple seasons ago. Some months have passed. Yonisalara, whose betrothal to Jorotar of the Elkin Valley was broken off after her seduction by Korol the poet of the Hirani, is now pregnant. Yonisalara is very happy, but her kinfolk see her pregnancy as a reminder of an embarrassing chain of events. So, we can try again to have this guy try and marry her, or we can leave this matter to her kinfolk. It really wants us to go this route, so we're going to go this route and see what happens. No, it doesn't. Why is it blue if I can't have it? We're going to just leave the matter alone because apparently we can't do anything else. People were happy that we didn't interfere. See? There you go. This year's harvest was a good one. And so now it's the dark season, which is their winter, so nobody can attack us. We have enough food. Basically, this is when you hunker down and get your ducks in order. So we're gonna go mess with our magic now. So here we can see all of our deities. And so it's usually best to get the main ones in order first. So we'll sacrifice. And we'll drop 15 cows because that's always a good number. And we'll learn some new blessings. We learn the curing ritual, which is good because this will keep our sick people from dying. And can we build? We have enough. We'll go ahead and build that up. Korol, a Thane from Heron clan, comes to complain that he was insulted by a member of your clan. This is the same guy who got that girl pregnant, so we'll go ahead and deal with him. Bastion dined in our clan hall and spent an entire night insulting me. He waved his bare buttocks in my face and touched my wife. Oh, he's married now, apparently, in an improper manner, and spit chewed food in my face. Because he is a member of your ring, my clan considers any insult made by him to be an insult made by your entire clan. Unless you punish him, there shall be war between our clans. This would be the way to go, but I'm not sure if it's going to let me. And since we don't like this guy, we could have them duel. Or we could just tell him he was right to ridicule you. You are kind of a jerk. Let's do it. Bastion was right to ridicule you. No, that's not an option. Okay. Can't duel him? Yeah, how long can I? Wow. See, this was never a problem in the mobile game. I'm just stuck making this choice. Alright, you're off the ring. He was pleased by our justice, and the people were happy that Bastion's insults would no longer seem to come from our entire clan. So I need to fill this ring. Back up. Reorganize. So, let's see what we lost. Excellent in animals, but you're not renowned. What are you good at? You're good with plants, so you don't count. And so we have the best for our bargaining. Don't have the best for our... Best for customs. We have the best leader we can have. Best for our magic. Best for our plants. Alright. It will pick Johnston. He's 56, he's renowned with animals, good at combat, good at customs, very good with magic and plants. So all around he helps. Now's the storm season where it's kind of shifting between winter to spring. It's still cold, and this is when you can launch sneak attacks against people. We don't have enough weapon things to defend the clan. Well, yeah, I know that, but I wanted to attack something. Oh well. One of your Carls, Orstellar, complains that his wife, Ernaldiness, dishonored him. It all started when he went to worship at the Hjord temple and was insulted by Ortosi, one of their Carls. He challenged Ortosi to a duel, but Ernaldiness did not want him to fight. When the appointed day of the duel arrived, she found where the men were fighting and knocked Orstellor dizzy with a big branch. He could not compete in the duel and now has lost his honor. And so given our choices, we can not pick that one, so we're just going to go ahead and convince Orstellor that Arnaldus had his best interest at heart, because, well, she is his wife, so she doesn't want her husband dead if he's not going to win this fight. Tell that to the goose egg on my head, Orstellor protested. Encourage Orstellor to duel Ortosi again. Scold Arnaldus. Scold Orstellor. This is not a matter for the clan ring. Well, we already said she had his best interest at heart, so we're going to go ahead and tell him to calm down. He apologized for wasting the ring's time with a matter he and his wife should resolve on their own. As for Orstellor and Ortosi, they eventually clashed again, but neither was skilled enough to do more than win the other, and they let the matter drop. Well, see, happy endings all around. Hey, we survived a year. So we'll go ahead and take a look at what happened. 36 babies were born. We initiated 20 children as adults, so our population's grown a bit. The clan has 199 more people, 200 fewer heads of cattle, and 18 more horses than we did last season. Haha, because we stole these horses from those people. We produced 1,331 and ate 923 bushels of food. But 39 was lost due to spoilage. Our crafters produced 45 cows worth of goods. Our markets made a profit of 28 cows worth of goods. Maintaining our shrine and temples took 9 cows and goods worth 18 cows. So when it says worth 18 cows, I believe it's like weight or how many cows can carry it on their backs or something. But so yeah, so it's of quite a bit. Our god doctors predict a more or less normal harvest. A kingdom to the far northwest figured in our visions. They said we should make a trip there. So, usually when they forecast something, you want to go ahead and see what's happening. But we've been going for quite a bit here. We'll go ahead and stop this first recording after one season. If you guys want to see more, like, comment, subscribe, and as always, this is Rin from Party Wipe Gaming. See you next time.